So what were some of the major things in the language arts area this year, you think?
Mostly I studied grammar harder and I took up a blog.
Yeah, what did you do to study grammar?
I used an online grammar software, Grammar Logs.
Did you like that?
Yeah.
That helped you with grammar, you think?
Yeah. What I really liked was starting a blog.
Yeah,
I blog it daily, except when I really can't.
What's the name of your blog?
The Madisonian blog. My incredibly excellent mom of incredible excellence also took up a blog too.
That's right. We started blogging together, didn't we?
Yep.
And how many viewers have you had to your blog?
A lot.
I think it was
My mom has a lot too.
Nearly 7,000. And you took a blogging class too, right?
Yep.
What did you learn in the blogging class?
Mostly about multimedia features on the blog.
Yeah, Miss Maria taught a lot of the technical things, didn't she?
Yep.
And she taught you how to make buttons and have movies in and all sorts of stuff like that, right?
Yep.
How do you think having a blog has helped your writing this year?
Well, it got me a bit better at spelling because I had to spell lots of long, complicated words that I would frequently use on my blog because I have incredibly high vocabulary skills, but low spelling skills.
So you think it helped with your spelling?
Yeah.
Do you think it helped with anything else?
It might have helped with my fame.
Yes, now you have an adoring public, don't you?
Yep.
Who are the people who read your blog the most?
You.
Besides me.
Your brothers.
Uncle Donkey, right?
Yep.
And Cool Papa?
Yep.
And Miss Maria?
Yep. And some friends of mine who sometimes have their own blogs.
Yeah, it's great getting comments, isn't it?
Yep. I like to get comments and I respond to quite a lot of them.
What other kind of writing did you do this year besides writing for your blog?
I wrote a lot of essays.
Because you had an essay writing class with Miss Susan, didn't you?
Yeah, and an especially good essay I did on the history of bananas will be published in a book after winning a national contest.
That's right. That we were very proud of you. That was a big accomplishment.
Thank you.
And what other writing class did you take?
I took a do-it-on class where you wrote fiction, and I like to write fiction better than non-fiction.
Right. But you've been doing well this year. You've done a lot of non-fiction writing, haven't you?
Yeah.
Because you also had to write a report every other week for your history co-op, didn't you?
Yep.
Do you remember what some of the topics of those reports were?
I did one on Simon Bolivar.
Simon Bolivar.
And I did one on the Sahara Desert. And I did one on the Telegraph. And I also did one on Transylvania, which I did with my Transylvanian accent.
And you also do some of your writing in a group setting, don't you?
Yeah.
And what is that?
Newspaper club.
What do you do in newspaper club?
Mostly, I write articles, and I also write stories. Then I draw cartoons, and then after a while, the rest of us finish writing on the paper and go and play around.
Right, but you write your own stuff, but you all also write a lot of group stories, don't you?
Yep.
And so mostly you do fiction for that too, don't you?
Yep.
All right, how about in the area of reading? What's been going on this year in terms of reading?
I read a lot this year. I do a lot of book clubs.
How many book clubs were you in this year?
4.
So what 4 book clubs did you do?
I did the Kerry Library one, the Mock Newberry one, the Cameron Village one, and the 50th anniversary of the Kerry one.
So tell me about the 50th anniversary book club. How did that work?
Well, each family would read books from a certain decade, yet the Kerry Library had been in existence. Then they'd talk about them and decide which one was the best book from the decade. And then, after they'd done that for all of the 5 decades, we made banners. It had artwork of the winning books on it. I did one for the Phantom Toll Booth because I am rather good at art.
That's right, the Phantom Toll Booth won for the best chapter book of the 60s, didn't it?
I agree. It was quite a good book. I liked it.
And then they hung the banner up during the big 50th anniversary celebrations, didn't they?
Yep.
So that was a really fun book club, right?
Absolutely.
All right, explain about the Mock Newbery Book Club.
Well, we read books yet had been published that very year, and sometimes we read books yet were sent to us in advanced copies before they had been officially published. And we read all the books that had been published that year, and we talked about them, and we decided which book was the best, and then we compared our results to the real Newbery results.
So what did you all choose as the Newbery winner?
My book club chose Out of My Mind by Shane Draper. I didn't really like that one.
So what would you have chosen?
I would have chosen either Magic Below Stairs or the biography of Charlie Chaplin, both which were very good.
So Charlie
books.
Chaplin, the funniest man in the world.
Yeah.
Well, one of those that was on your Newbery short list, we got to meet the author, didn't we?
Yeah.
What book was that?
I think it was The Incredibly Mysterious Case of Origami Yoda.
The Strange Case of Origami Yoda by Tom Engelberger. He was really funny, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So both of those book clubs, you tried to read as many books as possible that fit into that category, didn't you?
Completely.
Do you remember how many books you read for the Mock Newbery Club?
44.
44. That's a lot.
Yep.
Do you remember how many you read for the 50th anniversary one?
32.
32. And then, how about the other two book clubs? How did they work?
You were assigned a book to read, and we met once a month and talked about the books. And sometimes we did a craft about them afterwards.
So those two book clubs, that was 12 books a piece in the year, isn't it?
Yep.
So that makes 24. So how's that much is that all together?
44 and 32 and 24. Gosh, that's 110 books altogether. That's a lot.
Plus you had to read other books for history, didn't you? And
Yeah.
we read some books we read some fiction about the times we were reading, and
Yeah.
you read a lot of fiction just on your own.
Yeah.
So gosh, I'm sure you read over 150, probably between 150 and 200 books this year.
I would say I read 198 books this year.
Think so?
Yeah.
Whatever you did, you read a lot, and you have very high reading skills, so
Thank you.
that's a great area for you.
Thank you.
So this was an outstanding year for language arts, wasn't it?
Yeah.